All right, we are ready to get started with class today. So for today, you need, if you have them accessible, 2 sets of weights. I'm going to do one heavier and one lighter. The first 3 exercises, you're probably going to want a little bit heavier weights. We're going to be using a lot of lower body. And then for the second 3 exercises, it's going to be more upper body focused, so you might want to go lighter. All right, we're going to start with our regular warm up. Go ahead and bring your feet out hip width apart and start just swinging your arms side to side, loosening up your core, checking in, making sure everything's feeling good. If it is, go ahead and lift those heels, turn a little further, go a little faster. Get a little blood pumping. Do 2 more to each side. And then bring everything back into center. Moving on to your shoulders, some nice big arm circles forwards. And then arm circles backwards. And then throw those arms in and out across your chest. And as always, you can do this class seated or standing. I'll show variations for each exercise for both. So do what's going to work best for you. You can even change between seated and standing during the exercise. Make it work for you. From here, we're going to move down into our elbows. Nice big circles there. And then go the other way. And then your wrists. And go the other way. And then squeeze those hands in and out, loosening up the fingers, making sure you're ready to hold on to your dumbbells. Perfect. Now, if you're seated, you're going to go ahead and start popping your knees side to side, windshield wipering, loosening up your hips. If you're standing, go ahead and start those big hip circles in one direction. And go the other way. Beautiful. And then bringing everything back into stillness. If you're seated, you're just going to swing your feet back and forth, loosening up your knees. For standing, you're going to start with just bopping forward and back. And then if that feels good and you want to bring a little more motion in, make some little circles with your knees in one direction. Don't go too big on these. You're just loosening it up, getting the fluid moving in the joints. Beautiful. Go the other way. Perfect. And then last but not least, our ankles. So pick one foot up, spin it in one direction. And then go the other way. Beautiful. And then switch sides. And go the other way. Perfect. All right, from here, our first exercise is going to be a deadlift with an upright row. If you have a kettlebell, this is a great exercise for that one, or even a barbell, but you can also just use 2 dumbbells. So for this one, to do 2 dumbbells, you come down the middle for your deadlift, nice flat back, come up, and then you're just lifting your dumbbells up to shoulder height. From the side, you can see I'm keeping my knees nice and soft, generous bend, nice flat back the whole way. Now, if you prefer, you can also do 1 dumbbell holding it across this way. Same movement. Find the grip that's going to work best for you, what's going to be comfortable. We've got 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Oh, and if you're doing the seated version, you're just scooting up to the edge, deadlift, and then upright row. Same as standing. Beautiful. Nice and steady. You want to have your feet fairly far apart for this one, at least hip width, possibly shoulder width. Feel what's comfortable for you, what a natural stance is for your body, because everybody's different. Almost there. You got 10 seconds to go on this one. And time. Perfect. All right. From here, we're going to go into some side lunges. We're going to add in a little upper body action too. So we're going to do side lunges plus curls. So you're going to step out however far is comfortable for your knees. Come back in, do your curl, and then step out the other way. Come back in, do your curl. Don't try to step out with your weights hanging down. They'll bump into your legs. It won't feel good. All right, 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. So rack them up, side lunge, curl, side lunge, curl. If you're doing the seated version, you can just step that foot out to the side to keep the lower body moving, or you can just focus on those curls. Up to you, choose your variation. Nice and steady. This is one of those exercises that you can go faster if you want to add a little cardio element on, because there's not a ton of form here to make sure that you're protecting your joints. So it's up to you how fast you choose to go. I still like to go slow and focus on the strength building aspect, because the slower you work the muscle, the harder you're working it. Time. Go ahead and set that down. Shake everything out. And then up next, we're going to do one of your heavier weights. We're going to do a tricep extension, but we're going to add a step behind, like a mini curtsy lunge as well. So you're going to step behind, triceps, step behind, triceps. If you're doing the seated version, I don't really have a good step behind here, so you'll just focus on that tricep extension. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Now on this one, you do need to be a little more careful, because that step behind curtsy lunge can be very hard on the lower body joints if you're not doing it correctly. So be cautious, see how it feels, adjust so that you're doing what's going to work for your body, and even turn it into a straight back lunge if you need to. No worries. "20 seconds to go. Try to keep your belly sucked in nice and tight. Beautiful. Looking good. Almost there. And time. Go ahead and set everything to the side. Shake it all out. And this is where you might want to switch to those lighter weights, because up next, we have the back fly. For that one, you're going to come back to that lean forward. And you want to have about a 45-degree angle. Starting with the weights hanging down, you're just bringing them up, soft bend in the elbow, and then back down. Focus on squeezing the shoulder blades together as you come up. For the seated version, same thing. You're just leaning forward and doing the same motion from here. 1 minute on the clock. Let's do it. You don't have to lift the weight super high here. Again, find the track of motion that's going to work for your joints. Check in with your shoulders. Make sure everything's feeling okay. Ideally, you want to lift them about to shoulder height. but find what works for you. There's a lot of variation here. You're halfway there already. From the side view, see how I'm lowering it at the same speed I'm raising? That's going to work the muscles in both directions, making them do double time. 10 seconds to go. You got this. And time. Beautiful. Set the weights down. Shake everything out. And then up next, we're going to do some weighted windmills. Now this one, depending on your personal hip structure and knees, you may have to put your feet out further, or you may be able to keep them in closer together. So I'm going to start with turning my left toes out to the side. And like I said, step out as far as you need to make it work for you. From there, left hand stays down, right hand is going to go straight up, and you're just going to come down and up. The seated version is exactly the same. You're just not going quite as far. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. You're letting your back and your core do most of the work here. You should feel it, hopefully through your side body as well as your back. And then the stabilizer muscles in that top shoulder doing a lot of the work there. Check in with your breathing. Slow down if you need to. You're halfway done here. Looking good. You got it. I can definitely feel the work in that top shoulder as well as through my side. Almost there. And time. Beautiful. Set it down. Shake it out. And then we're going to switch sides. So grab the weights, turn those right toes out, step out however far you need to. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Beautiful. Try to keep a soft bend in that top elbow. It can be a little hard, especially as you lean down for the windmill. But it's always better to keep that little bend just to make sure you're taking care of the joint and you don't hyperextend it. $20 to go. You're doing amazing. You got this. And time. Beautiful. And that is our first set. So shake everything out, grab some water, take a second, and then we'll start set number 2. All right. Up next, we're back to that deadlift with the upright row. Now, before we start set number 2, check in. Do you need to up your weight? Do you need to lower your weight? Do you need to try a different variation? Any of these exercises can be modified. Just do what feels good for you and is giving you good work in your body with no pain. All right, grab that weight. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Deadlift, nice flat back, right into that upright row. Nice and steady. You should still be able to breathe smoothly. Ideally, you want to be able to say a short sentence. Probably not have a long conversation though. Remember, you can keep that big, generous bend in your knee. We have the side lunge with the curls. They're going to need 2 weights for this one. 1 minute on the clock. And here we go. I did it myself. Remember to rack the weights on your shoulders and do the curl in the center. That way you're not whacking into your legs with your weights. Beautiful. You can add a little extra work on this one by holding those weights up above the shoulders, or you can make it a little easier on your upper body by resting the weights on your shoulders. So you still get that nice weighted side squat or side lunge, but not quite as much work in the upper arms. "15 seconds to go. And time. Beautiful. Shake everything out for a second. And then up next, back to 1 weight for that tricep extension with the step behind or curtsy lunge. So holding it up nice and steady. Remember, slow down here. Focus on the form for that curtsy lunge. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Perfect, you got it. Slow and steady. Taking care of your knees, taking care of your hips, taking care of your shoulders and elbows. Squeezing the belly in nice and tight. You got 10 seconds to go. Time. Perfect. All right, shake it out and then get set up for your back flies. All right, 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Lifting and lowering at the same speed, maybe even lowering a little bit slower than you lift to really work those back muscles. Squeezing the shoulder blades in nice and tight. Looking good. Soft bend in the elbows. 20 seconds to go. You can do it. And you know what? If you need to take a pause, that's okay too. Take whatever pauses you need to be kind to your body while you're working it. Time. Whew, stand all the way up. Swing those arms in and out. Maybe throw in a couple quick twists to soothe your back a little. And then we're back into those windmills. The left side first. Point those toes out. Find the stance that works for you. And here we go. You got it. These can be tricky, especially if your hips don't like to do the narrow stance. That's why I say go for whatever stance works for you. Make it as wide as you need to. Not everybody's hips like that, and that's okay. "20 seconds to go." Check in again with your breathing. Make sure you're still doing good, especially if you made any adjustments to do it a little bit harder in the second round. Make sure you're still able to breathe comfortably while you're working. Time. Set them down. Shake them out. And then we got to go to the other side. 1 minute, starting now. Beautiful, you look fantastic. Slow and steady, no need to rush. You're halfway done already. Whew, I'm definitely getting sweaty. Definitely feeling the workout. Almost done. And time. Beautiful. All right, that is 2 sets done. Shake it out, grab some water. We have 1 set left. You got this. All right, bring it back in. Now for your last set, go ahead and reassess. Are you getting fatigued? Do you need to make any adjustments? Are you still feeling fresh and chipper? You want to push a little harder, maybe a little faster? Up to you. Choose your own adventure. We're back to the deadlift with the upright row. So grab your weight. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Beautiful. Seated or standing. Keep that nice flat back. Head, neck, and back in a straight line. And you're lifting that weight up under your chin, but don't come super high up. You want to come to just right about your collarbone. 20 seconds to go. Almost there, you got it. And time. Beautiful. Up next, the side lunges with those curls. So grab both your weights, rack them on your shoulders. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. If you do the seated version of this one, it's good to really slow down those curls and focus on your core and your upper body. If you're doing the standing version, of course, you got a lot of work in those side lunges you can be doing. Halfway there already. Looking good. You got this. And time. Perfect. Shake it out. And then we have the tricep extension with the curtsy lunge. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Tight belly, elbows in close to your head. Slow and easy. Well, maybe not easy, but go slow. Perfect. Got to work those triceps. They get ignored a lot. So I try to make sure we have a tricep exercise in every workout, because those are the ones that as you start to get older, you know, you wave bye to somebody and your hand stops waving, but your arm keeps going. That's what we're working on when we work our triceps. And time. Beautiful. Shake it out. And then up next, we have the back fly. So grab the weight that's appropriate for you. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Head, neck, and back in a straight line. Soft bend in the elbows. Slow and easy. Lowering with control. Don't let gravity do the work for you. Make your muscles work. Beautiful. 10 seconds to go. And time. Perfect. Shake it out. And then get ready for those windmills. This is our last round. You can do it. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Nice and steady. Really working side, back, and shoulder all at the same time. You got it. Almost there. Just 15 more seconds. Whew. I can definitely feel that shoulder. Time. All right, shake it out. And then we have the other side to do, and that's it. All right, grab those weights. 1 minute. Here we go. You don't have to lower the weight all the way to the ground for your windmill. Lower it to wherever you can reach. If you can get it to the ground, that's great. But if not, no worries. You're over halfway there. Check in with your breathing again. Almost done. And time. Amazing. All right, shake those arms out, grab some more water, and then we have our final stretch. All right, bring it back in for our final stretch, seated or standing. You're gonna start with bringing your arms up nice and slow with a deep breath in. And then a nice gentle side bend as you let it all out. Come back up to center and then go to the other side. And then back to center. And then a nice gentle fold forward. Hang for just a second. And then roll it up nice and slow. Rolling your shoulders up and then down and back. And then from here, go ahead and take one arm, bring it across your body, hug it in nice and tight. And then instead of looking out over the extended hand, today we're gonna look the other direction if it feels good. And then nod just a little bit up and down, just to massage that neck a little. And release, come back to center, and then go to the other side. Same thing, hug that arm in nice and tight, shoulder down away from the chin. And then if it feels good, look over the opposite shoulder and add just that little tiny nod up and down to massage out your neck. Beautiful. Come back to center and release. From here, we're gonna interlace our fingers, push out, and then kind of curl round your back just a little bit, stretch out between those shoulder blades. The back fly really works that area a lot, so it's good to stretch it some too. And then from here, bring those arms up overhead and maybe widen your shoulder blades just a little bit there. Take a deep breath and then let it all out as you float your hands down. Beautiful. From here, putting one foot out in front, whether you're seated or standing, again, leaning forward until you feel a good stretch through the back of that leg. And then come up nice and slow, and then switch sides. Leaning forward, feeling that nice stretch through the back of the leg. That toe pointed up towards the ceiling or the sky. And then ease up nice and slow. If you are standing for this one, you probably want to have a seat. We're going to bring our left leg across our right knee. You can do it with your knee bent, foot on the floor, or if you're seated all the way down on the floor and you want to stretch your leg all the way out, you can do that too. Pick which variation is going to give you the best stretch. From there, use your elbows to help hold everything in place, and then you're going to lean forward just until you feel a nice stretch through the outside of that hip. Take a nice deep breath here. Let it all out. And then ease up nice and slow. If your foot doesn't come all the way up to your knee, you can do that same stretch with it across the ankle. Whatever variation you choose, go to the other side. And then again, elbows to help press down if needed. Lean forward just until you find the edge of that good stretch for you. Nice deep breath here. Maybe lean just a little further into that stretch. And then release. All right, you are all done. Excellent job today. I will see you guys next week.